ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್. ರಿವಿಷನ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ 10th ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತೆ. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಮೀಡಿಯಮ್ಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತೆ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಪಾಸಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ಯಾಕೇಜನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಕೆಲವು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಬಿಡಿಸಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಇದೇನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟರನ್ನು ರಿವಿಷನ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ. ಹೌದಾ? ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಲೈಫ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಮುಗಿದಿದೆ. ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಷನ್ ಇವತ್ತು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಇದಾವೆ. ಆ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗೋಣಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗೋಣ. ಹೌದಾ? ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್, ವಿಚ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫಾಲೋವಿಂಗ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಡಬಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹೌದಾ? ವಿಚ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫಾಲೋವಿಂಗ್ ಡಬಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಡಬಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮಗೆ ಮೊದಲು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಹೌದಾ? ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಡಬಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಡಬಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಏನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಈ ವರ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ. ಡಬಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ವರ್ಡ್ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತದಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಟು ಅಯಾನಿಕ್ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಟು ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಯಾನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಡಬಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಡಬಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಡಬಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲೆಡ್ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾಪರ್ ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್ ಜೊತೆ ವರ್ತಿಸಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲೆಡ್ ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್ ಮತ್ತು ಕಾಪರ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೈಲಿ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಮೆಟಲ್ಲು ಲೋ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಮೆಟಲ್ ಅನ್ನ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೊರ ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಬೇರ್ಪಡಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಡಬಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ನೊಂದಿಗೆ ವರ್ತಿಸಿ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಯಾನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. 2 or more elements combined to give only one product. It is called as a chemical combination reaction. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಈ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಸಲ್ಫೇಟ್. ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಸಲ್ಫೇಟ್ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇರಿಯಂ ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್ ನೊಂದಿಗೆ ವರ್ತಿಸಿ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇರಿಯಂ ಸಲ್ಫೇಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮತ್ತು ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಹೌದಾ? ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಕೂಡ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್, ಇದು ಕೂಡ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್. in between they are exchanging their ions. ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಈಗ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಅನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ ಆದ್ರೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಸೋಡಿಯಂ Na ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸಲ್ಫೇಟ್ SO4 ಮೈನಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ Ba ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತದೆ, Cl2 ಮೈನಸ್. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇವು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಅಯಾನ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವ. ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಕ್ಲೋರಿನ್ ಜೊತೆ, ಸಲ್ಫೇಟ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕ್ಲೋರಿನ್ ಜೊತೆ ವರ್ತಿಸ್ತದ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸಲ್ಫೇಟ್ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಬೇರಿಯಂ ಜೊತೆ ವರ್ತಿಸಿ ಏನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತದ? ಬೇರಿಯಂ ಸಲ್ಫೇಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್ ಕೊಡ್ತದ. ನಾವು ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಈ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಯಾನ್ಗಳು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದಾವ ಇನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಟೂ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಟೂ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇದೇ ರೈಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಇದೇನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರೈಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. That's why sodium sulfate reacts with the barium chloride gives rise to what? Barium sulfate and sodium chloride. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೀಥೇನ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ನೊಂದಿಗೆ ವರ್ತಿಸಿ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಮತ್ತು ವಾಟರ್ ನ ಕೊಡೋದು ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್. ಹೌದಾ? ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದು ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಡಬಲ್ ಡಿಕಂಪೋಸಿಷನ್ ಅಥವಾ ಡಬಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಕೂಡ ರಾಂಗ್. ಹೌದಾ? ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇದು ಕೂಡ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಾಂಗ್. ರೈಟ್ ಒಂದೇ ಉಳಿದಿದ್ದು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಬಿ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ರೈಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ನ ಪತ್ತೆ ಹಚ್ಚಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ರಾಂಗ್ ಇರುವಂತ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಹೌದಾ? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ನು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಇನ್ ವಿಚ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫಾಲೋವಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಎಕ್ಸೋಥರ್ಮಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇನ್ ವಿಚ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫಾಲೋವಿಂಗ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಎಕ್ಸೋಥರ್ಮಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಎಕ್ಸೋಥರ್ಮಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಎಂಡೋಥರ್ಮಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮೊದಲು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಹೌದಾ? ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಎಕ್ಸೋಥರ್ಮಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ಎಂಡೋಥರ್ಮಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅದನ್ನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಂತ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ಬಿಡೋಣ. ಇವ್ಯಾಪೋರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟರ್, ದೆನ್ ಸಬ್ಲಿಮೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಯಾಂಫೋರ್, dilution of acid, silver chloride turns into gray in sunlight ಅಂತ 4 ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ exothermic process, in whatever the chemical reaction heat liberated to environment, it is called as exothermic, and whatever the chemical reactions heat absorbed to occur that chemical equation, that's called as the endothermic. ಹಂಗಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸೋಥರ್ಮಿಕ್ ಅಂತ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದಾರೆ. ಎಕ್ಸೋಥರ್ಮಿಕ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೌದಾ, ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎನ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹೀಟ್ ಲಿಬರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು. ಇವಾಪರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟರ್, ಇವಾಪರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತದಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇವಾಪರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತದಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇವಾಪರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎನ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹೀಟ್ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಎನ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹೀಟ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಎಂಡೋಥರ್ಮಿಕ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್. ಸಬ್ಲಿಮೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಯಾಂಪೂರ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಕ್ಯಾಂಪೂರು ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಇಂದ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಗ್ಯಾಸಿಯಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಗೆ ಸಬ್ಲಿಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎನ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಹೀಟ್ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಕೂಡ ಎಂಡೋಥರ್ಮಿಕ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್, ಇದು ಕೂಡ ಎಂಡೋಥರ್ಮಿಕ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸಿಲ್ವರ್ ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್ ಟರ್ನ್ಸ್ ಗ್ರೇ ಇನ್ ಸನ್ಲೈಟ್. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲೂ ಸಿಲ್ವರ್ ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಸನ್ಲೈಟ್, ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಎನ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ ಹೀಟ್ ಅಬ್ಸಾರ್ಬ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ all three reactions are what endothermic reactions. But dilution of acid, whenever we are mixing dropwise water with dropwise water with acid, okay, then heat liberated. ನಾವು ಯಾವ ಕಂಟೈನರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಮತ್ತು ವಾಟರ್ ನ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಕಂಟೈನರು ಹಾಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಹಾಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ exothermic reaction. In this reaction the heat is liberated to the environment. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಸಿ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರೈಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಸಿ ಏನು ರೈಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಹೌದಾ, ಹಂಗಾದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ತಾನೇ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನೋಡೋಣ. Third question, which of the following gas can be used for storage of a fresh samples of an oil or chips? ಹೌದಾ, ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಆಯಿಲ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಚಿಪ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೌದಾ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಫುಡ್ ಆಟಮ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುವಂತ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಸಮ್ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ಅ ಕಾರ್ಬನಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ H2CO3, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ನಡೆಸಿ ರಾನ್ಸಿಡಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಇರ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನ ಉಂಟು ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಬಳಸೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಹೌದಾ, ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಬಳಸೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಹೈಲಿ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟಿವ್, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಬಳಸೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಉಳಿದಿದ್ದು ಯಾವುದು? ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್. ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಲೆಸ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟಿವ್. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ರೈಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಯಾಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಲೆಸ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ನೀವು ಪ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಿರುವಂತಹ ಆಯಿಲಿ ಫುಡ್ ಐಟಮ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಚಿಪ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ರಾನ್ಸಿಡಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಉಂಟಾಗ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಆ ರಾನ್ಸಿಡಿಟಿಯನ್ನ ತಡೆಯುವಂತ ಸಾಮರ್ಥ್ಯ ಯಾವ್ದಕ್ಕಿದೆಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಇದೆ. ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ ಟು ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ರಾನ್ಸಿಡಿಟಿ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ what in what storage of fresh samples of an oil or chips, what is used? Nitrogen is used. ಇದು ನೆನಪಿರಲಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನೋಡೋಣ. What happens when dilute hydrochloric acid is added to iron fillings? ಹೌದಾ, ಡೈಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಕ್ಲೋರಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಐರನ್ ಫಿಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ವೆರಿ ಸಾರಿ, ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಡೈಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಕ್ಲೋರಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಐರನ್ ಫಿಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ Fe ಪ್ಲಸ್ HCl, ಹೌದಾ, ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಏನ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾವ ಅಂದ್ರೆ FeCl3, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಲಿಬರೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ when dilute hydrochloric acid is added to iron fillings ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದಾರೆ. ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ what iron chloride is produced. ಹೌದಾ? ಇದೇ ರೈಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ. ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೊದಲು ಬರೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ. ಯಾವ್ದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ? ನಿಮ್ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಈಸಿ. ಹೌದಾ? ಕ್ಲೋರಿನ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಒಟ್ ಐರನ್ ಹೈಡ್ರಾಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಐರನ್ ಹೈಡ್ರಾಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನೋ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್, ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಐರನ್ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಹೌದಾ? ಐರನ್ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ವಾಟರ್. ಹಂಗಾದ್ರೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಸಿ. ವೈ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನಾವೇನ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್. ಈ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತೆ 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್. ಹೌದಾ? ವೈ ಡಿಕಂಪೋಸಿಂಗ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್, ವೈ ಡಿಕಂಪೋಸಿಂಗ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ದ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಂಗಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಟೂ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಟು ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಒನ್ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್. ಏನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದಂದ್ರ, ಎರಡು ಅಥವಾ ಎರಡಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ಎರಡು ಅಥವಾ ಎರಡಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ಒಂದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದರೊಂದಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದೇ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ದೇ ಗಿವ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಒನ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್, ಒಂದೇ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾವ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಡಿಕಂಪೋಸಿಷನ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಡೌನ್ ಆಗಿ ಟೂ ಆರ್ ಮೋರ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್, ಟೂ ಆರ್ ಮೋರ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಟೂ ಆರ್ ಮೋರ್ ಕಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಡಿಕಂಪೋಸಿಂಗ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಅಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್. Okay, it's very simple. Okay, what? Two and more elements or two or more compounds combine to form a one product. It is called the chemical combination. Opposite to that, what one what compound decompose to give a two or more elements or two or more compounds. That's called the decomposition. That's why it's exactly opposite. That's why decomposing reactions are called the opposite of what combination reactions. Why photosynthesis considered as an endothermic reaction? Why photosynthesis reaction is called as a endothermic? Because the heat is absorbed in the process. To occur photosynthesis, to absorb carbon dioxide and to absorb carbon dioxide and water, environmental heat is absorbed. At optimal temperature, photosynthesis occurs at a high rate. That's why because of a heat is absorbed in this process. That's why photosynthesis is considered as an endothermic reaction. Next, what is rancidity? Mention two ways by which rancidity can be prevented. ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇದೆ. ರಾನ್ಸಿಡಿಟಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಯಿಲ್ ಆರ್ ಫ್ಯಾಟ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ಫುಡ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ ಸ್ಮೆಲ್ ಆರ್ ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ ಟೇಸ್ಟ್. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಅ ರಾನ್ಸಿಡಿಟಿ. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಕಮ್ಮಟುವಿಕೆ ಅಥವಾ ಏನೋ ಹಾಳಾಗುವಿಕೆ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ಆಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಂಟಿ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್. It can be prevented by adding antioxidants or by what? Flushing with a nitrogen gas. ಅವುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಫ್ಲಶ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರ ಮೂಲಕ, ತುಂಬುವುದ್ರ ಮೂಲಕ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಾನ್ಸಿಡಿಟಿಯನ್ನ ಆದಷ್ಟು ತಡಿಬಹುದು. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಪ್ರೆಸಿಪಿಟೇಷನ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್? ಓಕೆ, ಇದು ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಒನ್ ಆರ್ ಟೂ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ದೇ ಆಸ್ಕ್. ನಾನು ಕೂಡ ಪಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ಯಾಕೇಜ್ ಇದನ್ನ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಆನ್ ಮಿಕ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ದ what clear solution of a two ionic compounds. On mixing the clear solutions of a two ionic compounds, a substance which is insoluble in water is formed. This is an insoluble substance known as a precipitate. And the reaction in which precipitate is formed, it is called as a precipitation reaction. It is called as a precipitation reaction. ಹೌದಾ? ಒಂಥರ ಸ್ಕಮ್ ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ಸಾಲ್ಯುಬಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವೇನು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ precipitation reaction ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. What are antioxidants? The substance which prevents the oxidation known as antioxidants. Okay, the substance which prevent oxidation. What do you mean by oxidation? Okay, combining with oxygen or reacting with oxygen, it is called as oxidation. The substance which prevent it, stops the oxidation, known as a antioxidant. Name any two metal which do not corrode easily. Okay, these are called as a king of metals. Those are what? Gold and platinum. Okay, this gold and platinum not corrode easily. They do not corrode easily. Next, differentiate between combination reaction and decomposition reaction. Combination, first question only. Combination reaction is the opposite to decomposition. Why they ask? There I explained the what definition. Again we are going to discuss definition. The combination reaction, the chemical reaction in which single product is formed from two or more reactants. Okay, the chemical reaction in which single product is formed from two or more reactants is called as a chemical combination. Chemical combination. If we see the reaction, what magnesium reacting with oxygen, it gives the magnesium oxide. Okay, to balance we have to here 2 and here 2. Okay, that's a different thing. Balancing a chemical reaction, I made a separate clip. Okay, how to balance with the help of easy method and by advanced method. That clip, I think maximum people observed, 2 to 3,000 people observed that clip. Hopefully, if you want, once you can go to what playlist, and in the playlist chemical combination, chemical equations and reactions chapter name is there. In that chapter you will get how to balance the chemical reactions. Observe that clip. Okay, now I am not going to discuss here how to balance the chemical reactions. Okay, let it be that. See, magnesium reacts with oxygen and it gives a magnesium oxide. Here oxygen is combined with a magnesium. That's why it's a chemical combination reaction. In next case, decomposition. Decomposition reaction. When a single reactant decomposes to give a two or more products. When a single reactant decomposes to give a two or more products, it is called as a decomposition reaction. Okay, for example, calcium carbonate in presence of a heat gives a calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Here a single reactant giving a two or more compounds. That's why it is called as a chemical decomposition. When a single reactant decomposes to give a two or more product, it is called as a decomposition. Decomposition. Next reaction we are going to discuss. Next question. Very sorry. State the difference between state the difference between displacement and double displacement reaction. Displacement and double displacement reaction. See, displacement reaction, what happen when what more reactive element displaces less reactive element in a chemical reaction. Okay, here iron is a more reactive than copper. That's why it displaces from copper sulfate to copper, and it occupy the place of a copper. It occupy the place of a copper and turns into iron sulfate. It turns into iron sulfate. Okay, and what it gives? It gives a copper. It gives a copper. In third chapter, metals and non-metals, we are going to discuss the reactivity series. What we are going to discuss? We are going to discuss the reactivity series. In there, what we are going to discuss means what are the highly reactive elements, what are the medium reactive elements, and what are the low reactivity. Simply, I will tell for you what sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and aluminum. These are high reactive elements. Then lead and zinc. Okay, it will come series changed. These are medium reactive elements. Then copper, mercury, silver, Ag, and gold and platinum. These are less reactive elements. These are what? Less reactive elements. Okay, so see here iron, Fe. Okay, Fe at a top position and copper at low position, means this is a high reactive elements, this is a low reactive. Okay, what I told for you, these are high reactive elements, medium reactive elements, low reactive elements. That's why easily iron displaces a copper. Easily iron displaces a copper. That's why iron reacts with the copper sulfate. It displaces the copper, and what it gives a new product, iron sulfate and copper. This is called as a displacement reaction. High reactive element displaces a low reactive element in a displacement reactions we already discussed. Next, another one thing. Which one? Double displacement reaction. Double displacement reaction, exchange of ions takes place. Exchange of ions I already explained for you. Okay, barium Ba plus, chlorine Cl minus, sodium Na plus, sulfate SO4 minus, SO4 minus. Then what? This barium reacts with sulfate. The sodium reacts with the chlorine. And what they give? They give, see here, barium chloride turned into barium sulfate. Then sodium sulfate turned into sodium by exchange of ions. That's why double displacement reaction is the exchange of ions takes place between two ionic substances. Okay, not only in maximum ionic cases, in what acids and bases also double displacement reaction, double decomposition or double displacement reaction occurs. That's why it is an example for what double displacement reaction. Next question we are going to discuss now. Next question, see, define corrosion with example. Define corrosion with example. See your question. Okay. Corrosion is a process which metals are what deteriorated by action of air. Okay, deteriorated. Okay, they are destroyed. Okay, and not only air, because of a moisture, because of a chemicals, that's called as a corrosion. Example, which one they given? They given example of a rusting of iron. Which one? Rusting of a iron. Examples here. When iron reacts with which one? Oxygen, and in presence of a water, what it gives? It gives Fe2O3 into 2H2O. Okay, font size increase, that's why it's a problem. Iron reacts with oxygen and water. What it gives? It gives iron oxide with water. That's called as a rust. This reaction is there. This is called as a rust of iron. How it occurred? It occurs because of air also, and it is occurred because of a moisture also. Sometimes it occurs because of chemicals also. That's called as a corrosion. That's called as a corrosion. Okay. I think hopefully you understood this one. Next we are going to discuss 10th question. Which one? 10th. How will you recognize the corrosion of silver? How will you recognize the corrosion of silver? Silver turns black as it reacts with the hydrogen, sulfide present in air and form a layer of silver sulfide. It forms what? Layer of a silver sulfide. Okay, that's why. Next, how can we prevent the corrosion of iron? How can we prevent the corrosion of iron? Several methods are there to prevent the corrosion of iron. Several methods are there. What are those? Okay, by painting. One method is by painting. We can able to stop the supply of oxygen to the iron. Okay, that's why. How can we prevent the corrosion of iron? By painting. First method. Second method, by greasing. Okay, by galvanizing, by ionizing, by electroplating. Several methods are there to what? Avoid iron articles to corrode. Avoid iron articles to corrode. Next, we are going to discuss. Name the brown fumes liberated when lead nitrate is heated. Write the balanced chemical equation. Name the brown fumes liberated when lead nitrate is heated. Write the balanced chemical equation. Okay. Brown fumes. Why the brown fumes are liberated? Because of a liberation of a nitrogen. Liberation of a nitrogen dioxide. Liberation of what? Nitrogen dioxide. Here. Liberation of a nitrogen dioxide causes a what? Brown fumes. Then what they said? Write a balanced chemical reaction. Okay, lead nitrate, PbNO3 twice in presence of a heat. Okay, decomposed to give what? Lead oxide, nitrogen dioxide, and oxygen. Lead oxide, nitrogen dioxide, and oxygen. Oxygen gas is liberated here. Oxygen gas is liberated here to balance. Okay, we took 2, 4, and 2 balancing. I am not going to explain in chapter. In Kannada medium also ನಾನು ಮೊದಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಕನ್ನಡ ಮೀಡಿಯಂದಲ್ಲೂ ಪಾಠ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ. ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಒಂದೇ ಸಲ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು ಒಂದು ವಿಡಿಯೋ. ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಮೂಲಕ ಹೇಗೆ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅಡ್ವಾನ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಆ ಕೆಲವು ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಗಳನ್ನ ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಭಾಳ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅಂದರೆ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಹೌದಾ. ಕೆಲವು ಜನ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಕಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಸರ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಹೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ. ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕದನ್ನ? ಅದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರ ಸಲ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಇದು ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಕಲ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡ್ತದೆ, ನೀವು ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸಿಂಗ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಪ್ರತಿ ಸಲ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸಿಂಗನ್ನು ಹೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Next, 2 gram of a silver chloride is taken in a china dish, is placed in sunlight for some time. What will be your observation in this case? Write the chemical reaction involved in the form of a balanced chemical equation. Identify the type of a chemical reaction ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಇದೆ. Silver chloride turns into gray in sunlight. Silver chloride turns into gray in sunlight. Why it turns into gray in sunlight? Because it undergo a decomposition reaction. It undergo what? Decomposition reaction. Why means when a silver chloride reacts in presence of a sunlight, okay, it undergoes a decomposition, because in sunlight packet of energy is there. Those are called as a photons, h nu, Planck's constant we already discussed. That's why here sunlight contains some packet of energy. That packet of energy, okay, causes a decomposition, and what it breaks? Silver and chlorine. Silver and chlorine. That's why it is a decomposition reaction. What type of decomposition reaction? Photolytic decomposition reaction. There are what three types of decomposition reaction. One is a photolytic decomposition reaction, another one is a electrolytic decomposition reaction, and because of heat also decomposition reaction that caused, for example, in what calcium carbonate, because of heat, what it gives? CaO plus CO2, whatever the already we discussed reaction. This is about this is also a type of decomposition reaction. Because of heat, because of light, because of electricity, decomposition reactions are occurred. Okay, next 14th question we are going to discuss. Identify the type of a reaction takes place in each of the following case and write the balanced chemical equation for the reaction. They ask one question. Zinc reacts with a silver nitrate to produce a zinc nitrate and silver. Okay, zinc what reacting with the silver nitrate. Here displacement reaction occurs. In this case, what? Displacement reaction occurs. How it occurs? We have to see. See, zinc reacting with which one? Silver nitrate. What it gives? It gives a zinc nitrate, and silver is separated. Here, compared to zinc and silver, okay, zinc is a highly reactive, silver is a low reactive element, because in bottom I shown for you silver and gold, platinum. Why? Because they are king of elements, they are less reactive. Okay, they not react with any other elements, that's why they are less reactive. That's why zinc is a highly reactive. It easily reacts with silver nitrate, and what it displaces silver in that place occupies which one? Zinc. That it turns into zinc nitrate, and silver is separated. It is called as a displacement reaction. High reactive elements are displaced by low reactive elements are displaced by high reactive elements. Next, double displacement. In double displacement reaction, also I explained for you what the ions are exchanged. Here potassium plus iodine I, Pb plus NO3 minus. These what compounds exchange their ions. They exchange their ions, and because of exchange, what happens? Lead turns into lead iodide, and potash iodide turns into potassium nitrate. That's the ions are exchanged here. Because of ions exchange, it is called as a double displacement reaction or double decomposition reaction. Two ionic compounds react with each other and they exchange their ions. It is called as a double displacement reaction or double decomposition reaction. Next one, mercuric sulfide reacts with the oxygen. It gives a mercuric oxide and sulfur dioxide. mercury oxide and sulfur dioxide. Here also mercury hmm, gains oxygen. Mercury gains oxygen, and what that's why it is called as a oxidation reaction. ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಧಾತು ಅಥವಾ ಸಂಯುಕ್ತ ಆಮ್ಲಜನಕವನ್ನು ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ any element or compound it gains oxygen, then it is called as oxidation reaction. That's why it is called as a oxidation reaction. Oxidation reaction. Next, question number 15th. Define the term Define the term decomposition reaction. Give one example each of the thermal decomposition and electric decomposition. Already with the help of silver nitrate is decomposed with the help of a photolytic reaction. That already we discussed. Silver and nitrogen dioxide, they separated there. Here again they given reaction in which single reactant break down to give simpler product. It is called as a what thermal decomposition, and decomposition occurs with the help of what heat. That's called as a thermal decomposition. What is called a thermal decomposition? Calcium carbonate in presence of a heat, it gives a calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Because of a heat, here decomposition occurred. And what single reactant gives what two or more simple products. That's why it is called as a thermal decomposition. Then another one example is there, type is there, which one in decomposition, that's electrolytic decomposition. Total three types are there. First one thermal decomposition, second one electrolytic decomposition, and third one photolytic decomposition, that already we discussed. Here water in electrolysis process with the help of electricity undergoes a decomposition. It gives a water and oxygen as a two products. It gives a hydrogen and oxygen as a two products. Okay, this is what electrolytic decomposition. Now we are going to discuss next question. 16th question. In the reaction, manganese oxide reacts with hydrochloric acid and gives a manganese chloride, water and chlorine. Name the compound oxidized and reduced. Which compound is oxidized and which compound is reduced? Clearly I said this in where in passing package also, and now I am saying very clearly that what if you are if you are saying what oxidation and reaction, compulsory you have to take consider of only reactants, not products. Okay, whenever we are going to evaluation, that time we see a lot of students do a mistake. What they do mistake on the basis of a product, they write a oxidation and reaction. That's wrong. Okay, here dioxide manganese dioxide lost its oxygen, that's why it's reduced. It's a reduced because it's what manganese oxide turns into manganese chloride, that's why it lost its oxygen. It's not gained, it's lost, that's why it's a what a reduction reaction. And hydrochloric acid turns into what here hydrogen gains oxygen. Hydrogen what gains oxygen, that's why hydrochloric acid is a undergone a oxidation reaction, or it is oxidized. It reverse oxidized. What they asked in reaction, compounds which oxidize and compounds which reduce. Hydrochloric acid is oxidized, and what manganese dioxide is reduced. Very simple, very simple. Next question we are going to discuss. Write a chemical equation involved in the following chemical reactions. They ask one question. Whitewashing. Whitewashing. Then whitewashing. Quicklime reacts with the water to form a slacked slime. It is called as a whitewashing. Quicklime reacts with the water to form a slacked line. It is called as a whitewashing. Then quicklime, which one? Calcium oxide. It reacts with the water. What it gives? It gives a calcium hydroxide plus heat. That's called as a slacked line. Slacked line. Next question. Black and white photography. Black and white photography, silver bromide when exposed to light. Silver bromide when exposed to light, it decomposes to silver and bromine. Decomposes to give silver and bromine. I already what photolytic decomposition reaction example given. That same example. There silver chloride is there here. Silver bromide is there. Silver bromide in presence of a sunlight undergoes a decomposition reaction and it gives what? Silver and bromine. Okay. Next question number 18. Define chemical reaction. State four observations which help to determine that chemical reaction has taken place. The process in which new substance with new properties are formed by the rearrangement of atoms. The process in which new substance with new properties are formed by the rearrangement of atoms. It is called as a chemical reaction. In chemical reaction, change in a state, it may be solid turns into liquid, liquid turns into gas, or gas turns into solid. Okay, that's the change of a state occurs. Then change in color. Okay, not every case, but in some cases, some chemical reaction, change of a colors occurs. In some chemical reaction, what gas is liberated, evolution of gas. In some chemical reaction cases, change in temperature. Not all three in a single reaction. In different reactions, in some reaction change in state, in some reaction change in color, in some reaction evolution of gas, and in some chemical reactions what? Change in temperature. Change in temperature. Next, identify the what type of a chemical reaction in the following they asked. Okay, type of a chemical reactions in the following they asked. That's a very simple. Okay, see here. uh, Digestion of a food in our body. Digestion of a food in our body. Here, digestion of a food in our body. Rusting of iron they ask. Heating of what? Magnesium dioxide with aluminum powder they ask. Dilute hydrochloric acid is added to sodium hydroxide solution to form a sodium chloride and water. These four reactions they given here. With the help of these reactions we have to name what type of a reaction occur in these reactions. It's a chemical combination or chemical decomposition or chemical displacement or chemical is double displacement. Which reaction occurred in these four cases there. That's why first reaction. If we see here in yeast, digestion of food in our body or in a yeast body, C6H12O6. Okay, in absence of oxygen, I'm not going to take care because I'm not confusing, because in our body what food reacts with oxygen and it gives a carbon dioxide and water energy. Okay, that's why two reactions gives two products. Then how it is a decomposition, again you go to confusion. That's why I'm avoiding that. What I'm doing here, I'm taking the yeast. Okay, in yeast body glucose is decomposed into ethyl alcohol, C2H5OH plus carbon dioxide plus water. Here single reactant gives two or more products. That's why it is a decomposition reaction. Digestion of a food in our body, it is called as a what? It is called as a decomposition reaction. Next, rusting of iron. Rusting of iron, I already explained from what iron reacts with the water oxygen. It gives a what? Fe2O3 into 2H2O. Okay, this is the rusting, iron rusting. That's why here what? Iron gets a oxygen. Iron gets a oxygen. That's like oxidation reaction. That's it's not oxidation reaction. The next, heating of a manganese dioxide with aluminum powder. Heating with the manganese dioxide MnO2 with aluminum powder. Here what happens? Aluminum is what? More reactive than manganese. That's why high reactive elements displaces low reactive elements. That's why what happened here? Hmm. Al2O3. Al2 aluminum oxide, and what it gives? It gives manganese. That's why it is what? Displacement reaction. High reactive elements displaces a low reactive element. Then double displacement reaction. In double displacement reaction, what happens? Two compounds of two ionic compounds exchange their ions. Okay, for example, barium chloride reacts with what? Mm, potassium iodide. Potassium iodide. Then what they give? They give what? Potassium chloride plus barium iodide, Ba2. See here ions Ba plus Cl minus K plus I minus. These ions are exchanged. Okay, simply I am giving here example. Okay, for example, if what hydrochloric acid with reacts with the sodium hydroxide, here also exchange of ions occurs. What it gives? It gives the sodium chloride plus water. Okay, this is also double decomposition reaction. This is also what? Double decomposition reaction. Dilute hydrochloric acid is what? Reacted with. Dilute hydrochloric acid is reacted with sodium hydroxide. Okay, see this. And what it gives? It gives what? Huh, sodium chloride and water. That's why it is called as a double displacement reaction. Double displacement reaction. I think hopefully you are understood. My handwriting that much not neat. Okay, first time I'm using this. That's why it takes a little bit time. Like I'm not like writing like a mobile. Okay, it takes time. Some particles made of a silver, copper, and iron get colored coating over them. When they are exposed to air, identify the color, chemical name of the substance of a coating of each. Here, silver. Silver, it gets a black colored coat because of which chemical? Silver sulfide. Sulfide here. Then copper. Copper turns into green color. Why? A chemical name? Copper oxide. Uh, because of oxygen, it turns into green or sometimes carbon dioxide. Okay, copper turns into green color. Okay, copper carbonate. It's they given here a copper oxide, but copper carbonate. That's why it turns into green color. The next iron color. Okay, iron color reddish brown. Why? Because iron turns into what? Fe2O3 or Fe3O4. Because of that, it turns into brown color. Okay, that reddish brown color. That's the what change in color occurs in these chemical reactions. Question number 21. In electrolysis of water, name the gas collected at cathode and anode. Okay, cathode is what? Negative electrode. Anode is a positive electrode. That's why cathode negative electrode, the hydrogen ion is a positive ion. Positive ion means cation, and anode is a positive electrode. That's why cation oxygen gas is collected because they move towards their opposite electrodes. Here, what in electrolysis I already explained for you. These are two what electrodes. These are two electrodes in electrolysis. Think that it is an anode and it is a cathode. Anode means positive, cathode means negative. And a hydrogen. Here, hydrogen is a positive, and what oxygen is a negative. That's why oxygen move towards anode and hydrogen move towards cathode because negative ions are attracted towards uh, a positive electrode, and a negative electrode attracts the positive ions. Positive ions. That's why they are called as a cations and anions. Cations and anions. That's why at cathode hydrogen is a plus, H plus we write. That's why at cathode hydrogen gas is liberated. At anode oxygen gas is liberated. Question number 22. Differentiate between oxidation and reaction. Reduction reaction. Oxidation. Addition of oxygen to the element or compound, it is called as oxidation. Removal of oxygen from element or a compound, it is called as a reduction. Then a removing of a hydrogen, it is called as a oxidation. Addition of a hydrogen is also called as a reduction. Losing of an electron is called as a oxidation. Gaining of electron, it is called as a what? Reduction. For example, oxidation. Which one? Example for a oxidation reaction. First one. What magnesium reacts with oxygen? It gives a magnesium oxide. To balance this reaction, I took here also two. Okay, this is a chemical reaction. Example also one difference. You will get a half mark. That's why this is example for oxidation. Then reduction. Reduction. uh, which one? Manganese dioxide reacts with carbon. Okay, it what gives a manganese plus carbon monoxide. That's why here manganese dioxide lost its oxygen. It's a reduction reaction. It's what? Reduction reaction. Next. Differentiate between exothermic reaction and endothermic reaction. Exothermic reaction. What is exothermic reaction? What is endothermic reaction? We have to see. The reaction in which heat is liberated during the chemical reaction. The reaction in which heat is liberated to environment or a system. Okay, it is called as a what? Exothermic reaction. The reaction in which heat is absorbed. It's wrong thing. Okay, printing mistake is there. The reaction in which heat is absorbed from the environment or the system, it is called as a endothermic reaction. For example, respiration. At the time of respiration, carbon dioxide is released. Whatever in which reactions carbon dioxide released, those are exothermic reaction because heat is liberated to the environment. Melting of ice, to melt ice absorb environmental temperature. That's why it is an endothermic reaction or endothermic process. Okay, next question. Draw neat label diagram. They asked what they asked. Draw a neat label diagram to show electrolysis of water. To show what? Electrolysis of water. So see, electrolysis of water, acid solution of water conducts electricity. Okay, in this what beaker we took a water, 2 to 3 drops we added a what? Dilute hydrochloric solution, and in base we kept a rubber cock. In those rubber cock we kept two nails. One nail is connected to the one battery terminal and another one nail end is connected to another battery terminal. In between connecting battery terminals we connected a what? Bulb and bulb and switch. Whenever we close the switch, or whenever we uh, on the system, then bulb will glow. Why bulb will glow? Because in this water, whatever we added 2 to 3 drops of hydrochloric acid that form the ions. Those ions carry electricity. That's why a solution, acid solution of water conducts the electricity. Very important, first chapter 2 mark questions. Okay, bulb, switch, 6-volt battery, beaker, then nails, dilute hydrochloric solution, rubber cord. Okay, simply I explained for you what practical also. Next, collect the chemical equations and practice to balance the equation. Okay, here several chemical reactions given. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದಾರಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹಲವಾರು ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದನ್ನು ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಹೌದಾ? ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳೋದ್ನಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನು ವಿವರಿಸೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನನ್ನ ಪ್ಲೇ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಕ್ವೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಪ್ಲೇ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಇದೆ. ಆ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೌ ಟು ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ದ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್, ಹೌದಾ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಇದಿದೆ. ಆ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಎಂತಹ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ನೀವು ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ, ಹೌದಾ, ಒಂದು ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಒಂದು ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ನ ಒಂದೇ ಟೇಕಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಗಿಸುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಯಾಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ರಿವಿಷನ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಲಿ. ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಒಂದು ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಒಂದಿನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಪೂರ್ತಿಯಾಗಿ ನೋಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಹಾಯ ಆಗಲಿ ಅನ್ನೋಂಥ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ನಾನೇನು ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಇದನ್ನು ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಹೋಪ್ಫುಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಅನಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿ, ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಿರಿ ಅಂತ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸೊ ಮಚ್.